Don't ever change for anybody. Don't ever trade your soul. Don't even listen to him. He don't know nothing at all.
Hey y'all, so I've tried to do this video several times. So if you see me looking down, I got my book, Home is Where the Plants, or Home is Where My Plants Are. And I just wrote down a couple of notes. Basically, the video is about how I became an LP and how you can become one too. And I got stuff wrote down. So first off, finding a school. You want to make sure your school is accredited. You want to make sure that your school accepts Pell Grants. There's a lot of schools that are private, and I'm not against private school because I've tried my hand at private school as well. It just wasn't going to be something I was going to do for a long period of time, and I didn't want to leave school with more debt than I had to. So I went the technical college route. You could probably do the community college or technical college in your local area. Now, I am in Florida, so the requirements that I had may be different from your state if you're in a different state than Florida. But I was able to get enrolled into my technical college, and I was able to complete all the steps that they required of me. And mind you, when I was doing this, I was pregnant. I started school 2 weeks after having my son, my second son, and I'm not advising anybody to do that. I had a C-section, but I'm not advising anybody to do it. But when you're determined and you know you want to do something, you're going to do it. I was willing to quit my job. I was willing to like just put school at the top of the priority list because I just knew I wanted to be a nurse. And I didn't know, I didn't know things would be how they are with the pandemic. And luckily, when all of this stuff happened, I was still able to continue school. And I did finish, and I did graduate, and I did pass my NCLEX. So how I got into the LPN program, one, I had to take the TEAS test, but because I had already went to a private school, I already had the ATI-TEAS test done, and my scores were good for 2 years. So I was able to get in off of that. I didn't have to do a placement test because I hadn't been too long ago. I hadn't been out of high school for an extended period of time, so I didn't have to take a tape or placement test, depending on where you're from. And then I had to get my shots or my shot record, and any shot I was missing, I had to get it. I had to get a flu shot. I had to get a TB test. I had to have my high school record or my transcripts, and then my official transcripts, and then I also had to have a fingerprinting and background done for school. They want to make sure you don't have any kind of record that would hinder you from school. And you also have to do that again, the background and fingerprinting, when you graduate and you're trying to start taking, or you're trying to get ready to take the NCLEX. So after I get all the information done, I was able to be into the original class I was going to be taking was a daytime class. And again, I told you I was willing to quit my job. So it ended up working. I had called, I don't know when I had called, but I had just so happened had called into school, and they were telling me somebody had just withdrawn from the program at the night program, which started a month earlier. And I was able to slide into there, and that's how I was able to still work my full-time job and go to school at night. So when I got the information, I had already had everything I needed done, because the moment they told me that I could get into the day class, I went and got everything done. And then when I found out I could get in night class, the only thing I had left was the fingerprinting, and I was able to get the fingerprinting done that day. I came and dropped off my money for the application, all my paperwork, all my 2 forms of ID, my unofficial transcripts. I had everything they needed. I was not playing. I was like, okay, I felt like this was God telling me, go ahead now. I made everything, because once I said I was going to quit my job, which, if you know me, I was not going to quit my job it was a good job. It was a sweet job. I worked at the bank. So I wasn't going to leave my job. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hold on. And, having a 9 to 5 kind of interferes with you if you're trying to do any program during the day, because you have to work during the day. So that got handled. Everything got squared away for me. I was able to slide into school. I was able to finish school, and I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. And then around this time, because COVID did hit, unfortunately, we had to go home and we did everything online, but I still was able to stay on top of my grades. I still was able to finish with a newborn baby. And I'm just a living testament. If I can do it, you can do it too. So there were no prereqs required for my school, and if I wanted to go the RN route, which I'm kind of thinking about it, I don't know. Right now, I'm cool where I'm at, but I do want to already have the prereqs done in case I do want to get into another program. That's why I did the LPN route, because between the LPN and the RN, I didn't want to have to spend 2 years before I actually got into the program, preparing to get into the program. Versus the LPN program I took, I was able to get right on in. No prereqs required. And I'm thankful for that. I didn't have to take out any student loans. And this particular school wouldn't allow you to take out any student loans because everything was covered under the Pell Grant. After I had got all the information done, my first day happened to be sooner than I thought. So I had my son, and then the next thing you know, I started school. And so when I started school, they already had our books ready for us, and because when we already did our FAFSA, we already had the money, or the money that we would be eligible for with the school. I didn't have to buy anything out of my pocket. Like, literally, there was no money for that school that I had to spend out of my pocket. Books was covered. You got money back, so if you needed to buy anything, extra, I already had a laptop, so I didn't need to worry about that. Now, they did require you to have a laptop, and because a lot of those schoolwork was online. So that's how I was able to get into the program. And then, with everything that was going on in the world, they made it very easy for us to still be able to finish our schoolwork and do stuff online. We ended up coming back to school about 6 months. 6 months after COVID hit, we were able to come back into school on actual campus, and it kind of felt weird, but that's how I became an LPN in the state of Florida. And I'm pretty sure the requirements are similar. Depending on where you're at, the requirements, you still would have to have your shot work. You still would have to take some kind of entrance exam, the HESI, ATITs, one of those things. So if you get all of those ducks in a row, you will be able to get into the program. Now, the program is difficult. No matter if it's LPN, RN, the program is difficult. But if I was able to do it, two kids under the age of 5. If I was able to do it, then you're able to do it as well. I would say invest in you, some kind of support system, because I definitely had help. I didn't do this all on my own. I had my mom's, I had their dad, and we were able to make it work. And then I also had PTO when I needed just a break from school, and because I had him, I got 16 weeks of paid time off. So when I started school, I didn't have to worry about working the first 4 months. I didn't have to worry about working. I was just completely focused on school, and I got ahead because I knew I would eventually have to go back to work. And that's what kind of like helped ease the curve in the transition of COVID and also being a full-time employee. So that's my little spiel on how to become an LPN. If you guys have any questions, any comments, you can put them down below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Again, I am in Florida, and if you are not in Florida, I might not be able to help you as easily, but I'm pretty sure everybody's state has a board of nursing that you can go and look up the requirements, no matter LPN, RN, NP, whatever it is you are. There's a website that you can go for your state to look up and see what you need to do. Thank you guys for watching Driofallthings. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.